Nascal suddenly awoke. For months, he had been unable to sleep well, and that night had been particularly bad, something which he blamed on the emotion of being so close to finishing his work. Washing his face, he noticed how terrible he looked in the mirror, and thought that very soon he would have to be ready to return to society. Nascal was unsure of how much time had passed since he had visited the Council of Brax. After that night, he invested his vast fortune in creating a secluded mansion away from the civilized world. A huge and well-equipped workshop in which he could devote body and soul to his work, free from distractions. It had been years, or maybe even decades, since the last time he had contact with another human being. But loneliness meant little to him. All that mattered was that he was close to reaching his goal. Over the years, just improving his creative talent wasn't enough for Nascal. His goal was much higher. He devoted day after day to research the same process Gaudemus developed to make his works, becoming an unrivaled expert in lost science and supernatural rituals. With such unusual tools, he managed to create countless animated puppets, which were able to move by themselves, the very ones that now protected his mansion and took care of its maintenance. But they were all just prototypes for his definitive work, the ultimate puppet. An artificial being so perfect, it would not be aware that it was not alive. Nascal solemnly went down to the heart of his workshop, where his most valued masterpiece waited for him. On the table was a body. Any observer would think without a doubt that it was a true human being. It had the same appearance as its creator, as identical as 2 drops of water. The master puppeteer smiled. In his next encounter with Gaudemus, it would be his marionette that greeted him. An ironic joke that only he would be able to understand. After reviewing the status of the project for hours, Nascal determined that it was only a matter of days until it was finished. Only a few pieces were missing, which should be stored in his secondary workshop. With unusual anxiety, he walked to the north wing in search of them. It had been a long time since he had visited that area of the mansion, and he was not even really sure of why he stopped going there. Upon entering the room, the master puppeteer was struck by the terrible state of the place. He didn't remember having forsaken it for so long. Without giving it too much thought, Nascal walked to where the pieces were stored, but he saw something in his way which puzzled him. There, sitting in the workshop, was a corpse, holding the parts Nascal had come for. His flesh, rotted and dried, was in pretty bad shape, suggesting that it had been in that place for a long time. Surprised, Nascal approached to examine the body, but before he could do so, the puppet master became completely paralyzed with terror. Because, despite being worn and wasted, there was no doubt. The corpse had exactly the same face as him.
Two more. One more.
You shouldn't be here. This is my core.
Nascal the Puppet Master, come out. Don't hide in the shadows.
Go away. If you won't, I will destroy you.
Answer me. What is your intention coming to the tower?
I did not come. I was brought here. I heard a voice whispering in my head. I saw a light, and then I was here.
I have seen your memories. The things that you've done. The lives you've destroyed. Everything. You lost yourself and became a monster.
Wrong. I never lost myself. That was all for the art. And what about all the things that you have destroyed coming here? And even before that, we are all sinners looking for an answer, hunter of shadows. The only difference is the reasons.
Come out. Let's put an end to this.
I will. You will be wonderful marionettes. Is for the art.
This is the end. This is the end. This is the end.
You can't run. Come, my beautiful creations. You can't run.
This is the end. This is the end.
Come, my beautiful creations. can see them. In the theater, the marionettes, they are wonderful.
Huh? This power? Baby? What's happening?
The dream becomes more lucid. The little girl is inside the huge room. There's nothing there, only a strange book hanging from the walls wrapped in old chains. Everything has become silent outside, and for a moment, the child thinks that maybe she's finally found a safe place to hide. But she also feels that she is not alone. Slowly, the little girl extends her small arm towards the book. Darkness, wrath, loneliness, everything that fills the place comes from it, and she feels that that book is also lost. Before her little fingers reach the cover, the sound of the door opening behind her makes the child freeze in terror. One of them has found her. And again, the dream becomes a nightmare. Again? This is becoming repetitive.
Yeah, it's losing its edge. Are you okay, baby? You seem to be having a pretty awful dream.
You can bet it was bad. You were in it. And I already told you I don't need you to worry about me.
That's the spirit.